Real quick before the video does begin, because I think this is actually worth mentioning, it was announced this morning, with the removal of Chronicle Quest that we did see earlier this month, it did mean that the Chronicle Quest exchange was going to get removed, and therefore means we would be losing 50 Spirit Orbs and 6 extra Essence Scrolls every single month. Many of us, as stated, were wondering where would those missing rewards be moved to? How long would it take for us to get those rewards again? And luckily announced this morning, it was stated that the missing 50 Spirit Orbs and 6 Essence Scrolls will be moved to the monthly login bonus. So now in total, with these new returning rewards, we are getting 90 Spirit Orbs and also 7 Essence Scrolls from login bonuses, which I think is actually pretty cool. Originally, before this edition, we were only getting 40 orbs a month and also 1 Essence Scroll. So we're not losing any rewards with the removal of the Chronicle Quest, at least the important ones, the orbs and the Essence Scrolls. They've now just been moved into the login bonus, which I think is actually pretty cool. And glad to see that be added as soon as possible, starting from tomorrow's login bonus. Therefore, it means we aren't really losing anything of value with Chronicle Quest being gone, and I think this is actually a lot better than having to farm Chronicle Quest every single month. Alright lads, so in less than 12 hours time, we are going to be getting our next banner for Brave Souls, in this case the Japanese Parasol Fleeting Dawn Zenith summons with Shinji, Riruka, and also Momo. And with that in mind, we had to ask the question, are these characters worth pulling for? Should you spend your orbs on this banner? And right from the get-go, I would say the banner's not a bad banner to pull on. I think it has some pretty good value. I myself will be doing some summons on this banner, and it's mainly due to the 3 new characters, but also the filler pool this time around. I think it actually has some good value here, since we also do have for the first time ever 1000 Year Blood Wars Swimsuit Bambietta, Candice, and also Benigna returning as fillers, alongside some other pretty decent characters, Shunsui and also Nanao. If you are someone like me that is missing majority of this banner, including the 3 new characters, I'm missing 5 characters here, and very rarely am I missing 5 characters in a banner. Because of that, it's a very easy at least 10 steps for me. Whether I go deeper than that really depends on what I get in those 10 steps, but I don't think it's a bad banner to spend your orbs on. But at the same time, if you are someone that does have majority of the fillers, let's say you hypothetically have every filler character here, the 3 new characters are good, but I don't think any of the new characters are must summons. And I think you can, depending on your account, maybe not even summon on this banner and continue to save for the next set of banners, whatever those future banners might actually be. Usually, even though we are many months away from this, but I feel like it's probably worth mentioning, the anniversary is coming up July 23rd, and usually in any given year, the later half of the year is stacked with almost a lot of must summon banners, and usually the start of the year, like we are seeing now, are banners that you can kind of skip. So if you do want to continue to save up orbs for anniversary, even if it is like 4 or 5 months away, now is a decent time to start doing that, so that way you can ensure you have enough orbs for part 1 and also part 2 the anniversary, and maybe even some leftover orbs for what might come after season 3 gets introduced again post 10th anniversary. Nonetheless though, let's talk about the new characters, and the highlight character of the banner is going to be the new Shinji Parasol character, a power no affiliation killer plus unit with quite a stacked amount of skills, I will be honest. One notable thing here is that he is introducing Dominate Plus, so another character with the domination stat assignment, where upon inflicting a stat assignment, the enemies themselves will start to attack each other. With that in mind, the character itself comes with Frenzy +2, an 80% Berserker, 100% more damage to dominated enemies, an 80% spiritual pressure boost, and also for the first time a team party buff where he increases the damage to any character on your team by 20% if they are attacking an enemy that is inflicted with a status ailment. So damage output wise, it actually is quite good here, especially for a power unit. Near the later half of 2024, we saw a lot of characters released without any built-in Berserker, and I think it's really good that he has 80% built in, alongside the extra 120% damage that he will do upon inflicting a status ailment. Alongside that, he has the usual stuff, weakened defense, he has an increased status ailment chance, and also poise break, meaning he's going to be a good character in Limit Breaker and also Guild Quest. Overall, including the strong attacks that he does have, he's setting up to be a very powerful power unit. That is going to be, of course, great anywhere you do take him, especially in Guild Quest content. Now, in regards to Guild Quest content, because he is competing with someone like Owetsu, a character that doesn't need to inflict stat assignments, right now there is a discussion being had whether this character is better than Owetsu. From the numbers, at least according to lastnoches.net, they're going to perform about the same, Owetsu being slightly better, and I would assume Owetsu is going to be a lot more consistent due to the fact that the character doesn't need to inflict stat assignments. The big difference on whether Owetsu or Shinji will be better in a given guild quest phase will really come down to whoever the final boss is, and this time around, the upcoming Melee No Affiliation guild quest does have the final boss as a technique enemy, so Shinji should have the advantage this time around. If you do have Owetsu, special move level 2, so level 10 SP, level 10 focus, likely you won't need this Shinji, but if you are lacking Owetsu and you want to try and compete against other Owetsus in guild quests, then this Shinji is going to be a great character to have, but nonetheless, overall, solid character. Almost nothing wrong with him, in all honesty. He's going to be a very good power unit in an attribute that needs characters like this, and also going to be looking cool at the same time. Our next character is going to be Riruka. In our case, she's a melee Quincy Killer Plus unit, and she's a character that wants to be only really used in guild quests. More specifically, again, the melee Quincy Killer guild quests. In terms of damage output, she has a lot going for her. In guild quest content, she has Flyer plus 2, more melee damage, more killer effects. She has a 110% normal attack damage increase, with also long reach and a team boost SA2, where she is providing the entire team, including herself, a 43% attack, focus, and also defense increase. She's a standard GQ normal attack damage character that we've seen in the past, and a good one at that. And in her particular guild quest phase, a character like this doesn't exist, so it is good to have her, because this guild quest phase in general is lacking normal attack damage units, especially a team booster. So she is going to fulfill her role very nicely. However, unfortunately for her, the problem with this character, even though she is a good unit objectively, any other guild quest phase would love a character like this. The thing is, this guild quest phase has 1000-year Blood War Fullbringer Bankai Ichigo, who is an absolute powerhouse of a unit that is capable of clearing the guild quest super fast with or without Riruka, to the point that even if you pull Riruka, likely your scores aren't really going to change. So she's in a very weird position. We all understand she's a good unit, but a unit that technically isn't needed because Ichigo is just so good of a character, to the point that pulling Riruka likely won't even change your guild quest scores. Nonetheless, though, if you are lacking Fullbringer Bankai Ichigo and end up pulling this character, you definitely will get a use out of her. Her release now is just in a weird position, because I think this guild quest phase did need more normal attack damage characters. There's almost no melee Quincy Killer with Flurry plus 2, but due to Ichigo being so good, Riruka's existence right now in a way is kind of pointless. But I know Riruka has many fans, so you might likely just be pulling just for the sake of it, just to have the character, because she does look pretty after all. And then lastly, our final character to the banner is Momo, another normal attack damage character. Weirdly enough, 2 normal attack damage characters in this banner, and Momo is designed also once more to be used in guild quests, but not restrictive to guild quest only content like Riruka is. And the main reason for that is because of the damage differences here. Momo in particular has Flurry plus 1, an 80% normal attack damage increase only though when at full stamina, which is very similar to Riruka when outside of guild quests. However, due to the fact that Momo does have a gauge effect, once the gauge is full, she will get an additional Flurry plus 1, so Flurry plus 2 overall, and also an additional 100% bruiser for 10 more seconds. So overall, when at max damage output, when the gauge is active, you have Flurry plus 2 and a 180% normal attack damage increase. So in and outside of guild quest, she's going to be doing a lot of damage. As a ranged character with guard break as well, she's going to be able to do a lot of damage from a distance too. And thanks to the gauge rampage skill, likely she's going to fill that gauge up quite a lot very quickly. She also has some nice utility effects, her SA2 being a barrier, her SA3 is a team heal, and she also has lacerate and drain on most of her attacks, except her SA2 and 3 because they are utility attacks, which allows her to stay at full stamina or in some cases stop a guild quest boss from doing attacks. One of the more noteworthy things is her killer effect being Espada Killer Plus. The Espada Killer in general is lacking just good characters, whether that's an SP lead or an attack side character. Many people at this point are tired of using Misaki and wanted a character to replace Misaki. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, but at the same time, the normal attack damage character that we have been using over the last year are just many years old. Damage output not really that high, so getting Momo, even though she is a normal attack damage character, is going to make quite the difference in your guild quest scores. So unlike Riruka, Momo's actually going to be pretty good outside of guild quests, but definitely a lot more beneficial for her team in guild quest content. And that's it for the 3 new characters. Looking at the returning characters, however, we have Swimsuit Bambietta, a character that does have guild quest skills, but not restricted to guild quest content. In general, she has a good damage output, Frenzy plus 2, good berserker value, 80% spiritual pressure boost. She has lacerate and paralysis on all of her attacks with an increased 1000 chance against Arankas. Makes her really good in Aranka guild quests. and of course also Limit Breaker. Just makes her a fun character in general. If you are a Bambietta fan, this is probably the most enjoyable Bambietta outside of Guild Quest content. Candice is a ranged normal attack damage character for the ranged stun rated Guild Quest, really good for that respective phase. Menina is a super elixir farmer. By using her, you are getting plus 10 heart super elixir potions, and you also can use her to get extra coins. Shunsui is the team booster for the melee Squad 0 Guild Quest, pairs very well with Bankai Ruki or even Yumichika, the go-to lead for that Guild Quest phase. Nanao is a plus 10 Linkster farmer for the speed attribute, pretty good in epic grade content, and then Gin is an overall just decent character. Good visuals, nothing too bad, but nothing super special. It's also worth noting, going forward with every end of month banner, is that all these characters have extra value because they are bonus characters in the attribute tree of grounds. It's an event you want to do daily to stack up on quests to max out your attribute trees. By having these bonus characters, you get the extra waves. The new characters have +3 waves, and all the other filler characters have +1, so they are still good to have on your team. So pulling any of them, or if you have them in the past, have that extra value. Scrolling down and have a look at the step-up format. Like always, the first 2 steps in any 5-step rotation are discounted. Every 5th step is guaranteed a featured character. And I do want to mention this because near the end of 2024, since we did have the anime celebration, every banner that we had at the end of the year was 50 steps. Every banner also had 12 fillers with a 6% pull rate of getting that character. And I feel like that's kind of tricked people into thinking that this 1.5% other rate is actually bad. And I get it. It sucks in a case like this where if you're pulling for these characters, you see a 5-star light and you end up getting an unfeatured character, a character that's not on this list because you ended up hitting the 1.5% chance. Keep in mind that this 1.5% chance doesn't lower the rate for you to get a banner character here. Whether it was 6% or 4.5% rates, it's always 0.5% chance for each character here. The difference is that because there's the 1.5% other rate, it means there are 3 less fillers. And more often than not, the 3 fillers that we do get in 12 character banners are usually just characters that no one wants to pull for or are super old. So the benefit here with that 1.5% other rate means that we have less fillers, less featured characters, so when you go to the guaranteed steps, you have now a better chance of getting a banner character. Because now every guaranteed step is a 1 in 3 chance of being any of the 3 new characters instead of 1 in 4. Like I said, I get that it is annoying when you do get an unfeatured character because it does bait you into thinking you're getting something good, but banners are actually much better off having that 1.5% instead of having the 6%, and therefore have 12 fillers, which usually doesn't include any extra good characters. It's usually just worse characters. So if you are going to the guaranteed steps, chances are you're going to get a pretty good character, and you have a technical better chance to get one of the 3 new characters, Riruka, Momo, or Shinji, on that guaranteed step because there are now less featured units. And like always, if you go to step 25, you're guaranteed the character of your choice, Momo, Riruka, or Shinji. So overall, I think it's a pretty decent banner. Definitely not a must summon by any means, and that's mainly due to the value these 3 new characters offer. They're good characters, but aren't entirely needed if you especially care about Guild Quest scores. I think these 3 new characters with the returning Swimsuit Bambis make it an overall good banner to summon on, and that's why I am summoning. If the fillers were different, likely I would be limiting myself here or skipping the banner. But it's also worth noting too that because these characters are 1000-year Blood War seasonals, they are going to be more limited than the usual seasonal banner, aka they won't be available in free summons in the future, unless they do specifically include 3000-year Blood War characters. I guess now if you are fans of these characters, it's a good time to summon for them and have extra orbs before anniversary, because the next time these characters return will likely be right before anniversary in around June time. And the last thing you want to do before an anniversary, happening in July, is spend all your orbs in the month of June. Because that's when things get a lot rough, they usually release a lot of good banners. And the last thing I want to do is summon on a rerun banner in June. At least me personally. Either way though, that's the video for today. Let me know if you are summoning in the console. I will be live when this banner does drop, by the way, so feel free to join our stream. I don't know how deep I plan to go, but I do want to pull until I get majority of the characters I'm missing. Hopefully that doesn't take too many steps. But let me know your summon plan in the console, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.